Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Splatoon 2 Octo expansion. Last time we started to make our way through the B line here in the Deep Sea Metro, and we unlocked ourselves another line here in the station, Line D. On this episode, we're going to continue on here in the B line with Bring the Ruckus, Phat Splatz Station. So here we have a choice of 3 different weapons. The L3 Nozzle Nose and Splat Bomb, Flings the Roller and Burst Bomb, and the Ink Brush and Curling Bomb. Each one has a different reward, but the Flings the Roller here is the recommended weapon, so that's the one we're going to be starting with. You must defeat all enemies to proceed. Raining ink on enemies from above is not very effective here. And be aware that dash tracks will also cause things like curling bombs to dash. Take care out there. Let's go ahead and begin the mission. So, as Sea Cucumber said, attacking things from above in this mission, not really the most recommended because we have a lot of long-range artillery here. So, probably hide behind walls in this mission a lot. These Gatling gun Octolings, they're the most devastating here, so we gotta take things very carefully. Once we get to this guy, there's a little bit of a shortcut here. I'll take this ink rail off to the side, and let's just go ahead and just surprise attack. Now with that, go ahead and use this burst bomb here to put this guy in some ink, drop down, and that didn't really work out as well as I was hoping, so I'm gonna just take this one a little slower, and now we can attack you. There you go. Excellent, you wiped them all out, and almost got wiped out in the process, but hey, we did it, that's all that really matters. Take careful note of the enemy's positions and find a weak point in the defenses. I found one weak point. Sometimes it actually is better to attack from above because sometimes it catches the enemy off guard. So there are some cases actually where surprise attacks are your best call. Enemies can't really see you if you're hiding behind a wall, for example, so take that in consideration here as well. Here I'm going to go ahead and use the curling bomb rush that we just got and start to attack the enemies all around us. So just go ahead, keep on throwing the curling bombs and see what we do. Wow, pretty much nothing. I don't think we killed a single enemy with that bomb rush. Wasn't really the most helpful power in like the whole list of things we have here. Many other ways we could have actually killed enemies. Like another surprise attack, just like that. That's way more effective. Hopefully we can actually use our special here to actually do some damage. So I'm gonna use this specific special and use its ability to see through walls. That's probably the best thing right now. I have no idea if I just killed the one enemy there in the end. I think he's still alive. Yeah, he's still alive. Just hit him with the burst bomb. There, now you're in ink. Hit you again. And there we go. We're done. Kind of surprised that Stingray did not kill him, but I'd probably just need like another second at most, and it would have worked. Now we're at the final checkpoint, and this one is a huge, so tall tower. So here we're going to be very careful. Take things slow, and don't do what I do. That was a really bad idea. Why did I think I was going to land on the rail again? My idea was I'm going to attack the Gatling gun and come right back down on the rail. Well, that didn't work. So, don't do that. Instead, let's take care of the guy on top here first. So, here we got a machine that generates an endless supply of cans, just like Marina here was saying. So, these said cans are our special, the splashdown. And we're going to need to use the splashdown here to attack certain enemies. So, we want to definitely keep that in mind. For now, I'm going to go ahead and use my roller to attack you from above. You're just about dead because you're pretty much all covered in the orangey pink ink here. And now, attack you with splashdown. Barely landed on the platform, so I almost missed him. Hey, we still hit. That's all that matters. Okay, Octo Stamp, you win this round. That was a big blank. My idea definitely didn't work there. I have a lot of ideas that are really not panning out for this mission so far. This is one of those where you make one wrong move and it can definitely backfire. Because everything here does a lot of damage, or it can easily just push you off the map. So, maybe take things a little more cautiously and don't follow my example. I'm really not showing the best example here. I really am not. Do as I say, not as I do. And even then, take it with caution. Go ahead and take care of the Gatling gun enemy once again. From here, I'm actually just going to go ahead and climb back to the top so we can take care of our sniper friend up here. Get rid of you, because you're definitely hitting me from above. I don't want to deal with you. Take a look at our surroundings here before we jump down, because down below, there are certain enemies we kind of want to try to target with her splashdown. So, there you go. Nice landing. See that bomb pooping? We got another enemy, and he's a runner. That's the enemy we're going to need to use splashdown with, so keep that in mind. For now, let this Octo Stamp come to us, attack him in the back, and now we can go ahead and go right back up to the top. Because I need another one of our splashdowns to take care of our last remaining enemy down below here. Oh, actually, no, it looks like we got 2 remaining enemies. Well, good to know. Maybe I can kill you from here with my splat bombs, or burst bombs, not splat bombs. That might actually make this mission somewhat easier, but we don't have access to them here. Let's just take this one carefully. Carefully. And I'm whiffing like almost every shot. I'm just gonna come down and get you myself. But first, touchdown. All right, you're the only one left. Get out of here, buddy. There you go. Nice work. Let's take this launcher to get back to the top. This is a nice shortcut. And from here, let's grab a splashdown on the way because we can launch and immediately go into the splashdown to blow up these boxes. I love doing that. It's one of my favorite things in this mission to do. It's a great way to end things off. With that, we have passed our test. But we're not done with the test just yet because we got 2 other weapons. So we got to come back and do this one again. This is one of our longer tests we've ran into so far, as this one took like 5 minutes. Didn't help I died multiple times, but it's still a long test regardless. So let's go ahead and jump back into the Phat Splatz Station. And this time, pick one of the other 2 weapon types. So let's go ahead and pick what they consider one of the easier ones based on its reward, the L3 Nozzle Nose here. Nozzle Nose, not really one of my favorite weapon types in the game because it's a weapon where you have to constantly press the shoot button to even use it. It has some pretty good power and it's a very fast shooting gun. It's just a weapon that after a while does kind of tire my fingers, kind of like the slosher types. But for a mission like this, it does work pretty well because it does a lot of damage to all these different enemies. So we're already done with area number 1 and moving on to our next checkpoint. Way more effective than the Flings Roller in some cases. Flings Roller is definitely a powerful thing, but at the same time it's very sluggish, which can lead you wide open to attacks. So mileage may vary on how well you will do in a mission. It just depends on how good or bad you are using the Flings weapon type. Let's go ahead and use our rollers here, or curling bombs. I mean, they're definitely rolling. Guess I'm too far off there. Let's go ahead and just cover the ground in ink. Throw down a bomb here, take you out, take care of you. At this point, I think that'll be all the enemies down below. So now we can go ahead, make our way up. And I think it's just these 2 that's guarding our next special. So let's just go ahead and take them out. And there you go. We can go ahead and leave here now, so I'll just go ahead and take the launchers. That'll get us back to the center pretty fast. And now we have a special going into a final area here. We can use this to our advantage to actually aim at the things up above and take them out early. Now that is some effective gameplay right there. Use your specials to your advantage. Taking in the Stingray for this specific checkpoint can make things so much easier on you. So I'm glad I did that because that was a very good idea. See if I can get this bomb to land on the platform. Indeed I did, taking out one of our major enemies here. See if I can do that again. And completely miss. And sometimes you win them and sometimes you lose them. Stuff like that is kind of bound to happen. Now that's a good arc. That should take him out. Now take a look down below. I do see an Octo Stamp, so let's just go ahead and splash down on a corner? How did that make any sense? There was nothing to stand on that block. I'm surprised that even counted, but sure. Take out the stamp. Now at this point, we should only have 2 enemies left. I see one of them up above, which I could just use my splat bomb to take care of. This should hopefully kill you this time. There you go. All that's left now is the Tentatuk. But the Tentatuk moves very fast, so I don't think I can hit him with traditional means here. I'm gonna need the splashdown. It's unfortunate for me, but let's see if we can catch him off guard. Good. I didn't want to go all the way back up to come all the way back down. That would have been a trick. To move fast enough, that enemy type can be taken down without a special. Well, let's go and use it here and finish the mission. I'm surprised to see some of the boxes were already broken open. That was probably from our Stingray from earlier. Now that we're done with the L3 Nozzle Nose here, let's jump back to Phat Splatz Station one more time to use the ink brush. We got one more weapon here, the ink brush with a curling bomb. So, this one we already kind of got a hint about, thanks to Sea Cucumber here from the beginning, saying we could just use our curling bombs here to kind of push a path around with the launchers, as they will follow launchers. Probably the best bomb type to use for this kind of mission for that reason, but I kind of prefer splat bombs here, and you've kind of seen why after last mission. They can just do so much damage, and they're very easy to aim with. So, in my opinion, splat bombs are probably the better one here, but the L3 Nozzle Nose paid out the least amount of CQ points for a reason. That is considered probably the easier weapon here out of the 3 different weapon types, while this is probably considered the harder one. I kind of find the Flings a Roller to be harder to use than this thing, but, you know, to each their own on that one. I'm just going to go ahead and use my actual curling bomb and now go into a rush, because I can use this to attack all these enemies. Possibly. It's kind of working. I don't know if it actually is. You know what? We'll just take you out by force. Sometimes I do a lot of damage here with the curling bomb rush, and sometimes I don't hit anything at all. For me, the bomb rush in this section, not really the easiest thing to work with. Go ahead and try that again. Wasn't the best idea to kind of bomb rush the enemies there, because I took out all my health and then some. Get close to you, take you out immediately before we die. Just go ahead and take care of the guy in the center right away. It's just best to take care of the sniper immediately, just because of how he's always going to be just aiming at you, no matter where you're at here on the map. So I'm just going to chuck some curling bombs around, throw them down here at the bottom of the map, see if I can actually kill anything this time around. I think I killed at least one of the enemies, so that, I guess, was a good thing. Yeah, it did not kill the Gatling gun, so it killed only one. Better than nothing. Let's get out of here, because I'm going to die if I stay down here for too much longer. Jump up above. Take you out, because really don't want to be dealing with heavy artillery on this map right now. That's just dangerous. So now we just got 2 more enemies down below, and then we'll go ahead and move on to the final section. There we go. We're good to go. Sometimes it's actually better when you're using an ink brush to actually just walk around with the said ink brush for movement instead of going into your squid or octopus form in this case. You move very fast with the ink brush on ground, and in some cases, that's just much better than just swimming around. Let's activate that real quick, stand back, and start shooting. Take care of the Gatlings. I don't have enough power for the rest, but at least got 2 enemies in the beginning. That's a pretty good start if you ask me. You're just gonna go ahead and jump around to you, take care of this Octoling. This guy's really desperate to hit, I don't know, one of the background objects there, because he definitely wasn't aiming at anything. I don't know what you're aiming at, buddy, but here, let me help you with that. I gave you a target, you just didn't get to see it. Go ahead and activate this line just for later. Throw down a bomb. Maybe one of the stamps can notice. There we go. Take you out. At this point, I'm just going to run circles around you. I'm way faster than you, buddy, and same for this auto stamp. Take you out. Wait for the stamp. Oh, no. There's no more stamp. I, for some reason, thought I didn't kill the second one. I don't know why. I'm regressing. I'm regressing to the enemies, because now I just got to focus on this little sucker down here. And that's it for the downstairs enemies. Luckily, he's getting stuck with the ink. So now I could just go ahead and take care of the one last enemy up above, and we'll be able to finish the level. In some ways, I'm doing a better job here than I was with the roller, and in other ways, yeah, I definitely did better with the said roller. It's just models may vary on the weapon type. I'm not bad with ink brushes. It's definitely a weapon I don't use all that often in Splatoon 2, but every once in a while I may dabble with the weapon, mainly in some of the single-player content. Never use this thing for multiplayer modes, because in multiplayer, it's, in my opinion, a little too unwieldy for my kind of gameplay style. But for a mode like this, hey, it works out pretty well. But with that, we're done with Phat Splatz Station, and now we can go ahead and move on. And that was like a whole episode's worth on its own, just in one level. That was a really long one, but it gave us a mem cake. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mem cake here. The Octo Zeppelin. How loftily you float on high, suspended there in starry air, as you drip purple passing by. I mean, that's a pretty accurate description of one of these enemies, as it does drip around ink, this one specifically in purple. Nice design. I do like how you can just angle it up more and just looks more like a rocket ship than actual Octoling in enemy form. It's one of the more expressive ones, just for all the different reasons. Let's go ahead and do one more level here. Rock and roll 'em. Brute Rollup Station. So here we got a choice of two different weapons, the Carbon Roller or the Octo Brush. We'll go ahead and start off with Carbon here as it's the recommended weapon for the mission. You must defeat all the enemies before time runs out. Look up to send the Rollup flying high. And don't forget that you can hide behind crates to avoid taking enemy fire. Take care out there. Let's go ahead and begin the test. So we got 2 minutes to kill all the enemies here, but we gotta use the Rollup to actually defeat these enemies. There's no other way we're gonna be reaching these guys because they're very far out of the way. So, just aim your shots up right, fling the said Rollup at the said Octolings here, and just keep on doing this until they all die. So, that's pretty much the whole mission. It's actually a pretty interesting one because in some ways it almost reminds me of Space Invaders. It's just the general setup of the mission. It very much resembles Space Invaders, but it's not really that. It's like not even close on gameplay. It's just a similar concept of them moving around on the map. I do like the Game Boys in the background, specifically their Game Boy colors. And they're the see-through Game Boy color type too. I always like the see-through systems. They're some of my favorites just because of the sheer concept. But here we got one more thing left, the Octo Sniper. Yeah, we sniped him. That was like a 360 no-scope shot. I wasn't even aiming at the guy yet. I just got a shot in the blank and it happened to hit him. Sure, we take those. We definitely take those. There are new entries in the chat log, so I sent them along. Check them out sometime. You know what, might as well check out the chat log before we jump back into our level. So, let's see what they had to say this time in session 3. Yo, how do I make the chat window full screen? Alt F4. Alt F4? That doesn't seem like the full screen key to me, but whatever. You're the boss, Marina. I just closed everything. I've been duped! Well, Pearl just left the chat room. Can't believe that actually worked. Anyways, nice work passing those tests, Agent 8. Unfortunately, I haven't discovered anything new since our last chat log, so we're kind of stuck in the mud. But in the meantime, I was thinking we can get to know each other better by posting pics of ourselves. Here, I'll go first. Man, I don't remember Marina looking like that. She looks more like Pearl in this picture. Whoops! Wrong pic! Now what do we have here? It's an old picture of Pearl. Don't tell her I said this, but Pearl is seriously the coolest. Anyway, back to work. We'll have to save picture sharing for later. That's a pretty big oops to share the wrong picture, but I guess it was a more wholesome reason why you shared it. She admires Pearl. How nice. Let's go ahead and take a look at our mem cake we got from our previous mission here, the Octo Stamp. It seems to you a sly attack, but for your pains you make no gains. You only get shot in the back. That's the ultimate betrayal, being shot in the back. The Octo Stamp definitely knows how that feels, because that's the only way you kill this enemy type. It's a sad life. Although the Memcake doesn't have a weakness in the back. Instead, he has a second face. You know, if the Octo Stamps didn't have a weakness and had a second face on their back, then this would be an invincible enemy type. Maybe their species will evolve one day to grow that second face. For now, they only got one. Let's go back to the Brute Rollup Station and go ahead and complete this now with the Octo Brush. So let's go ahead and select the Octo Brush here. It pays 100 more CQ points. But this one, in some ways, you would think would be a harder thing, but with how straightforward this mission is, it's really not. It's just not at all. In some ways, I actually kind of find it a little bit easier because you can shoot this thing faster than the Carbon Roller. So, again, a mileage may vary situation on which weapon you would find easier or harder for this kind of mission, but with how this mission you're mainly focusing on hitting a target, it doesn't really matter. In fact, I kind of just made it a hard mode by getting rid of all the boxes here. It'd be fine. Mainly trying to get the shields from earlier on me, but hey, hard mode time. To be fair, you're going to kind of hide behind the things you need to use for the said mission and also survive with that. Because these things also act as a shield. You don't just need boxes to be used as a shield here. See if I can hit this guy from downtown. Indeed I can. Only one more left. At this point, I'm going to wait for the Octo Sniper to appear. Aim. and score. That barely hit the guy too. It's like the corner of his head. That thing's hitbox is bigger than it looks. And with that, we're done with the Brute Rollup Station. As we look to the floor in disappointment, we can go ahead and continue on here with our next part of the Deep Sea Metro Line B. But we'll go ahead and save that next mission for the next episode. So, with that said, next time on Let's Play Splatoon 2 Octo expansion, we'll go ahead and continue making our way down here the B line. I'll see you guys next time.